What is up, people crew? Today we have a story for you. It is about a family of four. In 1996, they entered Death Valley Park and they disappeared without a trace. Before we get started, guys, we want to first say thank you to Simply Safe. See that? They are the ones for sponsoring this video. More on that in a minute. All right, guys, so on October 21st, 1996, a Death Valley National Park officer named Dave Brenner, they were flying over in a military helicopter. They were looking for meth labs, just like the meth lab we visited that one day in that other video. You guys can go see that. Link in description. At around 11 o'clock in the morning, he spotted something very, very unusual because it was in the middle of freaking nowhere. In the wash of Anvil Canyon was a vehicle that should not have been there.
So the vehicle was located on an old miner's road that vehicles were not allowed to drive on anymore because it was a recently designated official wilderness area. Dave observed that it was a passenger minivan, which he thought shouldn't have made it that far because it would have been a crazy, crazy ride.
But don't worry, guys, we're gonna go out there and we're gonna check and see how crazy of a ride this is.
Yeah.
But hold on, let's get on with the story.
So Dave said it was covered in like a huge layer of dust, like it had been sitting there for a really long time.
It was a locked 1996 Plymouth Voyager minivan. I mean, one small little van that should never have probably been in this area according to him. So whoever was driving this vehicle, they drove it with flat tires on the back, and it was like 200 feet that they drove through this wash, this sandy area.
So Dave reported the van, and then they began to unravel the mystery of who had been driving it. The vehicle had been reported stolen to the Los Angeles Police Department on September 10th, and it was owned by Dollar Rent-A-Car. It had been rented on July 8th, 1996.
Just 3 months earlier, 4 Germans, Egbert, Georg, Cornelia, and Max, traveled to the United States as tourists. On July 22nd, they entered Death Valley and were never seen again. They were the ones, obviously, who rented this minivan.
The van was supposed to be returned on July 26th, but obviously it was never returned. And they had booked a flight to return to Germany on July 29th, but they never arrived.
So you may be wondering, like, why didn't this rental company go ahead and report the car stolen? And the reason was, it's the policy of the Dollar Rental Car Company to wait 30 days before they report a vehicle stolen. It was Egbert Remkes. He was 34 years old and he was an engineer. Then it was his son, Georg Weber. He was 11 years old. And then it was his girlfriend, Cornelia Myers. She was 28 years old. And then her son, Max Meyer, who was only 4 years old. So this is what we know for sure. This is what we know about the case. Let's tell you the facts of leading up to this.
On July 22nd, they had left the Treasure Island Hotel to head out to Death Valley. On the same day, they had arrived at Furnace Creek Visitor Center, and they had bought 2 booklets about Death Valley in German. Somehow, their van had ended up in Anvil Canyon, and nobody knew why.
But with some more research, we're going to uncover what they uncovered. We're going to go and follow their final steps to see if we can get in their head and feel and see exactly what they were seeing and feeling. We're going to go out there and we're going to follow and trace all of the clues that were found, which we're going to get into.
So back at the van, investigator Eric had flown in to conduct a search around the vehicle.
He found food wrappers near the van and a bunch of what they call cat holes, where they were, where they were using the restroom at with toilet paper and fecal matter. Inside the van, they found beer, which is a very important clue, luggage, clothing, a sleeping bag, a tent, toys, and an unused spare jack and tire, which makes you wonder why they didn't try to change. I guess they couldn't. I mean, you have 1 spare, 3 flats. Good luck with that.
Death Valley has visitor books that everyone could sign, and they started to look into those to see if they had left any trace, and they actually did find a note written by them. It was at the Warm Springs mine site, and it was dated July 23rd, and it read in German that we are going over the pass. That would have left them 6 days to catch their flight back to Germany.
All right, you guys, we're gonna head out there right now, and we're gonna just try to experience what they experienced and see exactly what they seen, okay? But we wouldn't be able to do this, guys, without Simply Safe. Actually, I just got a front door camera recording saying that my camera is recording something out there, so why not just take a look and show you on the app. This will show us exactly what the heck is that?
It's incredibly effective, reliable home security. It's all monitored by professionals 24/7 who will call you in an emergency and send police help if needed. It's really easy and intuitive to use.
Simply Safe on.
Thanks to Simply Safe, we were able to actually go out to Death Valley. As you know, we have to travel to places like Death Valley for part of our work. We have to leave our home. We have to leave all of our valuables at home. You guys know most of our videos have been taking place at home because we haven't been comfortable with leaving home. So thanks to Simply Safe, they allowed us to take off and to go and know that all of our belongings were safe at home, being monitored 24/7 by the Simply Safe Monitoring Center.
Yep, our items were Simply Safe.
Our items were Simply Safe. Simply Safe has some really thoughtful features like reminders that your door's been left open or your window's been left open.
Warning, some of your entry sensors are open.
Also, it has very small sensors so you don't even notice they're there. See that? Open, close.
Fair and honest prices with no contracts or hidden fees.
Which was a big selling point for me because I like the idea that I can quickly just sign up for their monthly service and cancel it anytime I want, whenever I want. It's equipped for the worst case scenarios. It will still work if you lose power, Wi-Fi, or the system is attacked. It will still alert the monitoring center, who will also still alert the authorities. Alright, so let's talk about some of the components of the system that we are actually using. First thing let's talk about is the intrusion sensor. It protects all your doors and windows from intrusion. Everywhere you put them, they simply stick right under, you barely even notice them, and they protect them from intrusion. Now we have our motion sensor, so if say someone breaks your window and they crawl through the window, they're gonna get nailed by your motion sensor. But say that doesn't work, you have also another fail-safe. They have a glass breaking sensor that it will actually detect when glass is broken. These are also great in the locations where we have huge windows. We have the doorbell sensor and a camera that monitors our front door, so when someone comes in to deliver a package, we know immediately. We also have a smoke detector, which I really like. The smoke detector will pick up any fire at home and they will alert the fire department if it picks up smoke while you are away. We also have the home base. This is the brains of the system. It also works when it's unplugged or loses power. And also have this panic button, which I really like. We have the key fob, which really makes it nice and easy to turn on and off the system. It's just like, as long as you're within like I think 200 feet, it works perfect. We also have the camera monitoring us, so when we're out and if something happens in our house, we get an alert, motion, or anything, we can click on the camera, we can see what's going on. We also have the freeze sensor that will prevent frozen pipes, so you just stick it anywhere you might worry about a pipe freezing and it'll alert you when it gets to a certain temperature. One more sensor we have the flood sensor. You stick it underneath your washing machine or anywhere like that and it'll alert you when there's water, so if there's any type of flood in your house. Guys, this is installed so easily. All you do, I didn't even use any screwdrivers or anything, no tools required. You just pull off the back right here, it's a sticker, and you stick the sensors everywhere you want them, and it's so easy to use. I had it set up in like, I'd say a half hour, I had the entire system set up and my home was protected by Simply Safe.
So the monitoring center will notify the police in the event you have a break-in.
That's right, they will immediately notify and your stuff will be protected. Make sure you go and visit simplysafe.com/EWOO. That's simplysafe.com/EWOO. And you guys can help support this channel. You guys can protect your home, you can protect your family, and we love you guys. Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you, Simply Safe, for sponsoring this video and allowing us to be able to go out to Death Valley.
That's it. Let's go. All right, you guys, this is the very first location that Germans would have come. I'm assuming it's the same place as 1996. And I'm assuming this is where they bought their visitor pamphlet before they headed off to the next location, which we're gonna go right now. You guys ready?
Let's go.
Let's go. So this is the exact road they took, and we'll show you how we know in a minute. We're gonna get up there. You can see this is a sandy road that they were driving on, this freaking sandy road right here, which is very interesting because they were in a minivan. We're in a four-wheel drive. They were in a minivan. It's already pretty crazy. So they were in a minivan and we are in a four-wheel drive, and we're gonna show you guys where they went. Let's go.
You ready?
Yeah, we can make this. Oh, I don't know if we can make it to the other side. It's pretty muddy. Oh, we're already like getting stuck. I don't know how deep that is over there.
Do you want me to go put my foot in it?
No.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm not sure we should go for that. It's like, this is the road right here. I don't know, I get stuck, man. Am I sinking in?
A tad bit, not right now.
How about the front end?
Not yet.
No?
Now a little bit, go a little further. You're not sinking in.
I can't tell how deep it is over there.
I know. Keep going.
That was so easy.
Hopefully there's no more of that, right?
I don't think there is. We got to go so slow. It's going to take us forever just to go 3 miles to the first place they were. I can understand why they probably didn't want to come back this way, because we're literally driving like 5 miles an hour. I'm actually doing 15. I should probably be doing 5. Even in this freaking road right here, that is like, we're going really slow, and look at how far we have to go still. Why is it saying Furnace Creek that way? We could have went that way to Furnace Creek. Going to Butte Valley. Oh, here we go. Here's the beginning of Warm Springs Road.
Yeah. Okay, Warm Springs Road.
Yeah, Furnace Creek and Warm Springs. So they would have come this way and it would have been like, So they could have technically come from that way, but I doubt it in the minivan. We're like, right now, guys, we are in 4-wheel lock. We have our Nissan Pathfinder. This road is a little rough. I don't want to go too fast because we don't want to get a flat tire and become the Death Valley Americans.
It's a little crazy.
I mean, I'm glad we came out here because if we didn't come out here, I would not have realized how crazy this road is.
Yeah, like they're already driving crazy.
It's not a crazy road that in terms of like if you have like our Nissan Armada or something like that, but if you have a minivan, this is literally crazy. I mean, this is like in a minivan, 2-wheel drive minivan, this road would have seemed pretty intense.
Yeah, you'd have to go really slow, which is probably why they didn't want to come back this way.
I mean, if I put this in 2-wheel drive, it'd be a lot harder to drive. I mean, if you have a Jeep or something that's made for off-road though, this is nothing. This is just like, you could probably do like 50 miles an hour down this. But in a minivan, like this is almost feels like a minivan, this Nissan that we're in. Nissan Pathfinder feels like a minivan. It's really not that much ground clearance.
No.
No wonder why they would have never wanted to go back. And it's taken us freaking forever to get there. And I could understand why.
It's really bumpy.
It's crazy bumpy. So they were probably thinking, you know what the heck with that? I don't want to drive this all the way back because holy moly.
Probably why they didn't turn around when it kept getting worse and worse.
Oh my God, clearance on your sketching me.
Take your time, homie.
All right, because I don't know if we're going to be able to make it, guys. It's taking us about an hour. Wow, that's probably a huge open, I wonder if that's an open pit line.
Over there?
Yeah, we'll have to look down there. I wonder if that's that big mountain of stuff came from right there. I don't know if we're going to be able to make it much further. It's already 3 o'clock. We've been doing this for like an hour and a half, and that's how bad these roads are. I honestly don't know if we're going to be able to make it all the way there.
Yeah, can you imagine how long it would have taken in a freaking minivan?
Yeah, it would have taken forever. It's kind of crazy. I mean, look at these rocks. I'm glad we brought this car because this is exactly what Cornelia and Egbert must have been feeling like. You know, they're driving this road. You don't think it's going to get any worse than this. So I don't know if we're going to make it all the way, but let's get to this first location. It's still a mile away, but 3 or 4 minutes away.
Oh my gosh.
Every time I hear something, I'm worried.
Yeah, I know, me too.
We're not going to make it. This is the spot where they filled out their little name.
What the?
Part of a deer.
No.
Probably hunters or something. All right, you guys, so this is the exact location where Egbert and Cornelia had come. They came right here. They probably explored this place. I think we should too. What do you guys say? They signed right here. This is where they signed. And they said, going over the path. Now, you guys, we brought this vehicle today because we wanted to feel what they were feeling when they came out here. But I'm going to tell you guys, we're not going to be able to probably make it to the geologist cabin that's down the road here because it's that crazy. I have no idea how they made it this far. But just knowing that they were right here and they had signed right here. They had signed this just like this. Who signed it today? Is someone signed it today?
It's signed like every 3 days.
Let's go explore this building. Let's go check them out. Geologist cabin is 9 miles down the road still from here.
Where they went?
And it took us an hour in that car just to, hour and a half, I'd say.
Yeah.
Hour and a half just to climb up this spot. So let's go check out this spot, you guys. Realizing that they would have probably come up here and checked this out themselves. Check that out. Freaking swimming pool. Dude, how sick would it have been to have a swimming pool out here? Want to go swimming?
Yeah. That's pretty nasty.
Yeah, but look at that. That is so sick. Think about that. They had a swimming pool out here. I don't know why, but I think that is awesome. What an awesome place for a swimming pool. So this over here, I think we got some more buildings all up in here. Look, there's tons of buildings.
Oh wow, what the heck?
This tree came down. Holy, can you imagine it being here when this thing came down? This is probably snaky territory.
Why does it sound so crazy?
Dude, there's all kinds of buildings up here.
Oh, what the?
Who would have thought there'd have been so many buildings?
It's empty. It's all empty.
It's all empty now. And it's all gone through, so I'm already over it.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
I don't even want to go see the rest because I
No.
already know like 1,000 of people have been here. This pathway here, I wonder where this pathway went. I wonder if there's any old photos of this place we could find.
I bet you we could find old photos of this
Because this place is awesome. I freaking think it's really cool. There's some more buildings, guys, but like this is a part of the park. It's already all been gone through. There's really nothing to discover or see that not 1,000 people have already been here to do. I think we could try to go a little further just to see if the road gets any better. Kind of really to feel like what Egbert and Cornelia would have felt like, because they would have probably been like, you know, let's just continue on. What do you guys say?
And
Should
who
we
knows,
just
the
try?
road might have been slightly better back then.
Might have been better, but I don't think so. Because it seems like they haven't put any rock on this thing in a long time. What do you say? Should we try, you guys? We're going to try to make it. We're going to try to go a little far. Let's go. So after they left there, they came down here and then they went down the road. Whoa, what is that up there? There's like a freaking generator way up there on that platform.
Oh, that's
you
weird.
see it?
Yeah, I see it. That's
How
weird.
cool would that have been? Now, usually these kind of places would be really cool to explore, but I always feel like when it's part of a park, it's kind of boring to me. We're gonna try to go down here.
Where they went. Where they
went, but I'm not really sure if we're gonna be able to make it.
Let's go.
Let's go. All right, guys, this is the end of the road, unfortunately. Look at this road in front of me. There's no way this car can make it up this road. How the Egbert and Cornelia made it up this far, of course, it's changed a lot probably over the years. Unfortunately, we wanted to make it all the way to where the van was, but we can't. And we tried. We just decided we were going to try to feel like what they would have felt like, but I'm telling you, I don't want to end up stuck out here, so we're heading out. How do I look behind me?
You look all right.
Big rocks behind me?
No, you're good. There's a smallish one. Okay, that's it. That's as...
Okay, I'm going to try to go forward.
Oh my God, don't scrape the... Don't go forward. Don't go forward.
I have to.
You're going to scrape... Okay.
Now I'm going to go back again.
Watch.
Whoa.
Okay, stop.
Okay, I think we're good.
Okay.
Woo! To me, it's like crazy because look at this car doesn't have any clearance, but think about even how much longer a van would have been.
And we're having the clearance of a minivan. Like, what the heck?
I know, and we're having like a really hard time just transversing this in this vehicle. And this vehicle is like a Pathfinder. It's supposed to be kind of like off-roady, even though you could tell
off-road-ish.
It's barely off-road capable, but it does have four-wheel drive. But it's 10 times more off-road capable than a van would have been.
Yeah.
So
seriously.
I don't know what the heck they were thinking. We can't even get back to the prospector's cabin.
Well, yeah, especially in 120 degrees with no water.
Yeah, they had no water.
It's not even hot, and we have water.
That's true. They had no water.
Wait, what the hell, dude? What?
Is there? I wonder if there's someone coming up here.
Like a ranger?
Yeah.
Maybe they keep a closer eye on it now since what happened to them?
I don't know.
That is
bizarre. Let's go look down here. The KA band way out here. That is bizarre. I just wanted to take a look over here.
Oh, there's butterflies all over the ground.
I feel like this
butterflies are migrating.
Oh, this is just a boring.
Oh, fudge that. That's boring and stupid.
It's like a Grand Canyon. That's a huge pit that they carved in the mountain.
So is there like a ranger coming?
I don't know. Let's go back though. Maybe
Maybe they keep a close eye on it, seriously.
All right, guys, so we're going to finish the story back at the home base
Yeah,
office.
you'll want to watch until the very end to find out what happened.
Pretty disappointed, guys. I wanted to take you there and tell you the story. But at the same time, I feel like this was a unique experience because we were basically feeling what they must have had some, like we've been feeling like, oh my God, this is crazy.
Yeah, and it's taken us so long to get back here. Why the heck?
Yeah.
Well, we want to turn around already.
And that's what we're thinking about that way because we know we won't be able to get out. If we go 9 miles that way, we have to come the entire way back. And it's taken us hours just to get up this road in this car. So I could totally understand what they must have been feeling at that point. So we're going to finish the story. When we get back, we're going to tell you exactly what happened. We're going to give you even more details. We're going to go into theories. We're going to tell you some of the mysteries of it all. I mean, this story was pretty crazy.
Okay, guys, we are back.
Yep, we are now back at home, and we are going to finish the rest of the story and tell you everything else that we know. Unfortunately, we couldn't make it any further, you guys. We wanted to feel like what they felt. That's why we rented a small car. We almost rented a minivan, and I'm glad we didn't because we wouldn't even have gotten that far. The longer wheelbase would have gotten hung up on a lot more stuff. I have no idea how they made it as far as they did. Anyways, now let's talk about where they went after Warm Springs.
Yeah, the place we were not able to make it to, geologist cabin.
All right, guys, so the geologist cabin is about 9 miles away from the Warm Springs cabin. It took us about 2 hours, an hour and a half to 2 hours, I can't remember exactly, to get from just the main road. We traveled 11 miles?
14 miles to Warm Springs. Then it was going to be an additional 9 miles to the geologist cabin, and then even further to get to where you could hike to their van spot.
It would have taken us hours to get there.
Yeah.
So the geologist cabin is an old miner's cabin that has now been repurposed into, like, I would call it a survival shelter.
Yeah, anyone's allowed to stay there, and it's fully stocked with food and water, and it was still stocked with food and water back then when they went missing.
But how do we know that they were there? So we know that they were there because in the van, one of the things they found was an American flag that had the name of that cabin on it that they took from that cabin.
A lot of people say they deserved what happened to them because they took this flag. I don't really think they deserve that because they took the flag.
No, the thing is this is like a public cabin. They might have thought it was like a geocache where they could take certain things, and who knows, maybe they left a few things. That's basically what it is. It's like a giant geocache. People bring water there, so people may end up there and they might drink some of the water.
Yeah, plus they had little kids with them, and like, what if one of them started throwing a big tantrum, and then they're already stressed because the road was crazy, and they're like, okay, fine, here, have the flag. It's not a big deal.
Everything I've always watched or read about it, it makes it seem like the Germans, I don't want to even call them Germans, I want to call them by their names because I feel like that dehumanizes them. They act like they were just like, Egbert and Cornelia were just like cruising down these roads and just like as happy
Having a jolly good time.
Yeah, just having a great old time. I've been in situations like that, and I bet you what happened is they didn't anticipate the roads being so freaking crazy, and they started running out of time, and they started to panic.
Because they were on a time crunch. They had to get back to catch their flight.
That's right, and so they probably stopped there, and who knows what happened. They stopped at this place for just a little while, and the kids were probably all like unhappy, and I don't think they had much food or water with them.
No, they had some snacks, which is why they found the wrappers around their car, but they had no water. They only had beer and wine.
Yeah, so they were probably, I would think they were probably in a panic mode, maybe like they needed to get out of there.
Another thing is people criticize them for not having the food or water, but they're running low on money.
That's right, and another thing that we need to mention really quickly is that what they signed in there were going over the pass. Some people think that that meant that they were going over Mangle Pass.
Which is insane, which is totally insane.
It's impossible. In a minivan, you could barely do it in a regular four-wheel drive vehicle.
It's really hard.
Yeah, it's a pretty brutal pass. I don't know, maybe they just meant they were going over the pass as in the hill. Who knows what they really meant by that?
But they were trying to get to Yosemite, isn't that right?
Yes, they had to go to Yosemite after that.
So that's why they were going that way. They thought it was a shortcut.
So from the geologist cabin, we don't really know what happened in the meantime, but if they did try to go to Mangle Pass, they would have easily known that there was no way they were gonna make it. Something happened and they backtracked a little ways and they ended up in Anvil Canyon, okay? They took off on this road. Now, another thing that needs to be mentioned about these roads is on the maps out there, and another thing we should mention is they might have been lost. A lot of people seem to think that they knew where they were going, but all they had was a map. I don't believe they had any GPS. It's so freaking easy to get lost in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, not to mention some people seem to think this was like a multiple day trip, but they may have just been trying to go fast because they had to return the rental car, they had to catch a flight, so it would have easily gotten dark by the time they were in that area if they're all going in one whole swing.
We are out there all the time in this kind of environment. You could find this environment all over Nevada. I don't know why people pay money to go to Death Valley, but whatever. But it's so easy to get lost. Like, I use my GPS like all the time when I'm following my own tracks out of places because it's so freaking easy to get lost in these locations.
Yeah, especially if you're just relying on a map.
But who knows what time it was? I'm betting it was probably nighttime.
And it's not to mention the map showed that was a road. It showed that was a road.
Which is very important to mention, guys. We did some research on this and we found out in Germany, if it's marked as a road, you don't need a four-wheel drive. It's a freaking road, okay?
Yeah.
Remember, these people were not from here, so they had no idea what they were expecting.
Yeah, not to mention a lot of people say that people from Europe have like no clue how vast the United States is. Like, they think you could go from one side to the other in like a day drive. But yeah, that's probably why they thought it would be so easy. If they were trying to cross over to go to Yosemite, they probably thought that would be easy peasy. Probably could do it in like a half hour or something.
Yeah, exactly. So somehow they took this road to Anvil Canyon, up into the canyon, or down into the canyon. We didn't even get there to even see it. We tried. Probably thought it was a shortcut, because that tells me right there, if they're thinking it's a shortcut, we're just speculating, they're trying to get the heck out of there as quickly as possible, and they were most likely already panicking. And so they got stuck, or everyone who's been in that area, which I was hoping to take you guys to, said it's crazy. There should have been no van there. So guys, based on the vehicle, they had 2 flat tires in the back and 1 flat tire in the front and only 1 spare tire.
And they were sunken deep into the sand.
That's right.
There's no moving.
Exactly. Some have speculated that what they did, once you get in the sand, you're trying to go as fast as you can, because if you lose any momentum, you're gonna sink, and that's it. Some believe that he was going really fast and then he accidentally took the wrong turn. I guess that's all speculation. We don't know. All we know is their vehicle ended up in this location. So it needs to be mentioned right now, guys, the weather was a major factor. It was between 100 and 125 degrees out there during this time.
So no one knows what happened to them during this time, and months later, the van was found.
So they conducted massive searches in the whole area. They went all over the canyon and they searched the entire area, but they came out empty-handed and they ended up calling off the searches. That was until 2009 when Tom Mahood started looking in this case and he got hooked on it. And I can tell you from our experience of looking for missing people that that's really easy to do. It's really easy to start like becoming obsessive about trying to find people, and it's so hard to stop once you start. During this time, Tom Mahood was taking all his extra time he could to look at everything about the case, to figure out where they searched and where they hadn't searched. And he found an area that they hadn't searched, which I believe was south from that location. They searched all the other areas really really, really well, but they did not search south. So that's where he decided he was going to conduct his own search.
Tom had to figure out why they would go south, and that's when he realized there's a naval air weapons base just south of where their van was.
Yeah, it's about 9 miles. And in Europe, these bases are manned around the border. So if they could have just gotten to the border of that base, they would have been safe. At least they thought so.
Yeah.
What they didn't know, most of our bases, a lot of them are in vast areas of nothingness.
And this one doesn't even have a fence.
No fence. There's no perimeter fence even around it because there's nothing out there. Nothing. During the original searches, they found a bush that had a bottle underneath it and supposedly like an imprint of a butt sitting underneath it, okay? Like Egbert had sat there. So that's where they went to. They know they went up this way up. They went down Anvil Canyon and then they went south. They looked for the easiest route down because that's usually what people will take, and they followed it. And it was Les Walker. I want to mention this because I don't think Les Walker gets enough credit for this. I don't see anybody ever mentioning Les Walker. It's always Tom Mahood. Well, Les Walker is the one who actually found the bones. So as they were hiking, Les started finding items. First of all, he found a wine bottle. After he found a wine bottle, he thought he found toilet paper, but then after he looked a little bit closer, he realized that it was a daily planner.
In German.
And then Les said, "We have some bones down here."
So they were searching around this area, and then Les found a wallet full of ID cards, all of which said Cornelia Meyer.
Yes, they were all Cornelia's. I believe it was her ID, her credit cards, just her entire wallet of all her stuff. I want to mention right now, guys, that all this stuff was found about 8 or 9 miles away from the bottle bush, from the van, and it was like 120 to 124 degrees. So this was a very, very, very long hike.
And even when Tom was searching in the winter, it was a crazy hike. He said the environment was just super rocky and super hard to hike. So in the same area, they found a toothbrush, toothpaste, they found a shoe which could have belonged to either a woman or a little kid, and a Bud Ice bottle that matched what they left in the van.
So the bones that they found were forensically identified as both being a male and a female.
Only Egbert's remains were in good enough condition to be verified and confirmed with DNA, and Cornelia's were too dried out. According to Tom, the children have never been found.
That's one of the mysteries. Now, there's a lot of mysteries here that we want to go over, but first of all, we did find something that was kind of touching. Well, should we say that for the end? We'll say that for the end. They were only about 4 miles past the survival cabin
That they went to.
Exactly. It had food, it had water, it had everything they needed to survive, and it would have probably have been visited by that time. Why did they go in the direction they did is something I guess we will never ever know, but the only idea that we have is that on their maps it said that it was a naval base and they thought that they would get help there.
Yeah, exactly. And they thought they'd be able to get to their flight and return their rental car in time.
So guys, a lot of things people don't seem to talk about in this is the fact that they had children with them, and who knows at what time that this happened at, but they could become whiny, they could become needy.
Especially if they're hungry and thirsty.
Exactly. And so they were probably in a rush to get out of there, guys. I can only imagine though how hard this must have been for the family as Egbert and Cornelia saw their poor little children, starving and going without food and water. I could only imagine the hell they would have been through.
Yeah.
I mean, how awful of a death that must have been for these people. I just can't imagine it, and I hope if you guys ever decide to come here, anybody, even if you're an American, this happens to everybody. This doesn't only happen to non-Americans. I don't want to make it sound like that because it could happen to anybody. The reason I say that though is because our country is so big that most people that come from places like Germany,
exactly.
They don't understand how vast that we have these areas of expanse that have nothing, like
and
literally.
Nobody around forever.
You can go a week without seeing people. I mean, look at they didn't see that van for what, 3 months? Here's what I suggest you guys: if you're gonna go out there, get a personal locator beacon. Satellite phones are okay, unless I don't know about them. They usually can't transmit your exact GPS locations. And one thing I like about having a personal locator beacon is you press a button and it tells them exactly where you're at. You don't have to try to guess where you're at. You don't have to tell them where you're at. It literally will tell the search and rescue how to find you guys, and they work. So if you're gonna go out there and you're gonna explore, make sure you take, first of all, tons and tons of water, enough food to last you a long time, and a personal locator beacon, guys. Now, you can't say that about them because I don't even think those existed back when they went missing.
No, I don't think they did.
No, they didn't exist. So I'm not saying that what they did was wrong, guys. All I'm saying is today there's no excuses for that. Back then, things were different, guys. They didn't have the technology. So the mystery is where's the children? And the other mystery is why in the heck did they just go back to the cabin?
Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Any theories you might have on why they decided to go that way instead of going to the geologist's cabin.
Subscribe, hit that bell button so you're notified right away of our new videos. And we're gonna do some more. I want to say thank you to Simply Safe one more time for making this video possible. All right, you guys, until next time.